So I hope you guys appreciate the world in which you live. You're kind of, when you're, especially when you're training entry level troops, you are entering superhero status, and with great power comes great responsibility. To coin a superpower line, superhero line. So you're kind of in that superhero status as a schoolhouse instructor. When you're a podium guy, everybody's looking at you. You have to realize that you've got to be the right person who's going to say the right thing to the right person at the right time. And I hope also that you look at this opportunity as a privilege. It is a privilege to be a podium guy. And I use the term podium loosely. I know that you're not on a podium all the time. If you're an instructor, I just call it having podium time. It's just phraseology. Because if you take advantage of podium time and you understand that you're the right person who's going to say the right thing to the right person at the right time, and that your message has to be palatable and it has to be delivered with vigor and with professionalism, there is great fulfillment in that. And there's nothing more rewarding than being fulfilled, and I do what I do and I continue to do it because of that fulfillment. If you didn't have fulfillment, and purpose, you're stuck in a rut. You're stuck in a mundane world, and you become a product of institutional inbreeding. But when you're in that position and you are relaying that message, you're, trying to forge tomorrow's badasses, it should be fulfilling. You should get that sense of fulfillment from it. And I just hope you appreciate that, and it's a world, it's not riddled with ambiguity, like when you're deployed and stuff like that. It's very black and white, but the rules are simple. Never show up late, out of uniform. Know what your curriculum is. Know how to deliver it. Know how to deliver it better than how it is intended to be delivered from a 3-ring freaking binder, but with your own flair, with your own style. And I because this is the world in which I live. This is what I do full time. Even before I retired, I worked for 2 years training Delta guys, OTC, operator trainers course. And that's a 6-month school. And you're training America's ultimate freaking badasses. I mean, there's recon guys in there. There's Rangers. There's paratroopers. There's SEALs go to freaking Delta selection in OTC. Air Force PJs and combat controllers. So I worked in that capacity for 2 years, ran 4 OTC classes. And while that was going on, all my mates were deploying. They're pushing overseas because this is 04 and 05. So I had to strap hang with other squadrons that were not, with guys who I wasn't working with, prior squadrons that I wasn't organic to, but I was deploying nonetheless in between running classes. So I also understand the sacrifice. Like, I guess that's what I'm saying, because it requires long hours. It requires painstaking attention to detail. And one of the big things too, and I'll shut up here in a second and field some questions. One of the big things about being in a podium slot is, you've heard me say twice or 3 times, you want to be the right person who's going to say the right thing to the right person at the right time. You also don't want to be that guy. It only takes 5 seconds to say the wrong thing, fuck something up, and then it's going to take the next guy 3 days to unfuck that mistake. So you've got to be careful not to put your foot in your mouth too. So you could never be in the white. You understand, like Cooper's color code. When you're on a podium slot, Cooper's color code, white, you're in the zombie mode, and red, you're fighting for your life. When you're in that podium mode, you could never be in the white. You've always got to be at least condition yellow. You know, so you've got to be head on a swivel, attention to detail, and you've got to be omnipotent. You have to have the ability to know and see it all in your field of expertise. You know, when you're teaching tomorrow's badasses, you've got to be switched on. So anyway, I appreciate the world in which you're living right now, because you're making people better people. That is your job right now, making people better people. You're forging tomorrow's Marines, because they're not yet. They're fledgling. You know, they're still in the nest. They still have downy feathers. So anyway, that's my my opening statement for what it's worth. And thanks a lot for giving me this opportunity to be here with you guys today.